everybody. So as promised, the next video I'm making right now that I promised in the last video was will you get to see the country? And I didn't write down any bullet points for this video, so I'm just going to try to pull everything off the top of my head without rambling on too much. So as you saw my eyes drifting off the road there, that was a neat little railroad bridge I just saw, which was unusual and cool as I passed through Oklahoma City here. Now, so you'll hear, one of the enticements you'll find when you're in your 9-to-5 job and you're thinking, man, I want to get on one of them vans and make better money than I'm making here and see the country as well. It's going to be so awesome. Let me just clarify this seeing the country bit. With a couple of points. The very first point, let's talk about it. I mean, you're seeing the country from the interstate. Things are just fleeting past. You get a lot of fleeting glimpses that are pretty cool. There is also the fact, like, I've been driving for the last 16 hours, give or take the time that I slept a few hours back. As I was heading through Kansas, I thought that the view must have been pretty spectacular. I know that I kept on going downhill, and I know that in the far distance I could see all these lights on the horizon, and so I thought it must have been really flat. There must have been a really huge scenic view, but I didn't get to see any of it because it was dark outside. And a lot of these shipments are overnight dark, and the wind is tossing your van around the lanes. It was a real headache this morning trying to keep the van, sorry about that, trying to keep the van in the lane. So I just got overworked and overtired and needed to sleep even, and didn't get to see anything from the side of the road. Recently, I was excited to have one journey through North Dakota, which I've never been through before. Was all excited to see the sights of North Dakota. All I know about it is how the highway looked in the dark fog. And that's it. I have no recollection of how the state looks because I went through there in the dark. It's a lot of this expedite shipping is basically overnighted shipping. Someone needs it tomorrow, we'll overnight it to you. So consider that. Now, seeing the interstate from the country from the interstate. Did you ever see a flock of birds all going crazy and making different shapes in the sky? Well, that's one thing I'm just looking at right now. That's kind of neat. There's a big long streamer of birds all in a flock doing something weird. So I thought that was kind of cool just a second ago, but like that's up and gone. As I leave Oklahoma City, traffic is thinning out a bit so I can pay attention to some more of the scenes. And so that's all you really get to see of any place. You might think, well, what about in between loads when you've got time to maybe go sightseeing? Well, the problem, there's a twofold problem to that. Number one, you usually need to go to sleep, and that's tough because it's daytime, your biorhythm is feeling awake, but you know you need to sleep because if they give you another overnight, like what just happened to me, you're going to be struggling through the overnight. Like, I might have been able to get there 3 or 4 hours early. They gave me plenty of time, but I'm going to get there right to the minute because I took all the time I could dozing off last night in rest areas. So it's too dangerous to drive. So, here comes some noise. Okay. So that being said, you probably, and you're waiting at that time to get dispatched. You want to get dispatched quickly. In that time, you might have to clean your van, get laundry done, stop at a Planet Fitness to take a shower, stop and buy some groceries. Between those 4 errands, you can waste 4 hours of your day. And by then, it's just top in the afternoon, and you get a call for your next load. Good to go, right? Because you want to be driving every day on this job to turn the coin that you want out of it. So, you really aren't going to have time to, like, you know, let's say you ended up in, you know, Texas, and you wanted to go see, you know, a museum that happens to be there, or the, you know, you're near a meteor crater in New Mexico or something. You're probably not going to have time to go explore it. Now, also, you'll be driving in the wintertime, and it'll be just simply too cold in most of the country to get out and do anything except go to the library. I have explored a lot of libraries, and I recommend that as something to do if you're an expediter, because you probably don't do that a lot in your regular life, and you can really learn a lot going to libraries. So, that being said, in the summertime, you might be able to stop at a park, take a nature hike, perhaps. You might be able to go and see something cool. But like I said, you usually have things to do in between. There's always the truck that needs to be washed. The interior needs to be wiped down. You need sleep. And so, and the final point is, you know, these trucks, even when they're empty, they don't get the greatest gas mileage. And that's all on you as soon as you're not getting paid for the load. So do you really want to go and deplete all the money you just made driving around to different places? And what if you go, you know, 40 miles out of your way to see this site, and then dispatch is like, hey, we've got a load for you. We thought you were in this city, and it's 30 miles the other way. So now you got to go 90 miles out of your way. So it just really doesn't work out that you're really going to see a whole lot of the country. Now, that being said, as I crest the hill here, I got a really neat view of Oklahoma. It's flat, I can tell, more flat than a lot of other parts of the country. And yeah, kind of like some rolling hills. It's got this kind of southern warmer temperature look to it. That means like the grass is yellow and from being dry, and from it being mostly warm here, there's no snow anywhere. Although there's a lot of trees that are, I think, called deciduous trees, meaning their leaves fall off in the wintertime and their leaves are gone. So it's looking sparse, like a winter landscape. So lots of 18-wheelers to look at. You get sick of all the names of all the 18-wheelers and all the fun you make of the names. And I went through a city recently, back there, Oklahoma City, and they had a bank. And on the top of the bank, they had their bank logo, and it said it was called...
In half a mile, keep right at the fork to stay on I-44.
Some Peterbilt thought he had me back there. Cash vehicles, account holders, pike pads, fuck. Okay, another guy's getting tolled. Paying tolls, no fun.
Keep right at the fork to stay on I-44.
Yeah, well, that's a pike pass, so we're not keeping right at the fork. We don't have a pike pass, and we just spent 15
Continue
bucks.
on I-44 for 31 miles.
So now you'll have to remind me about what I was saying, because I got interrupted here. Hello, how much do I owe you? $2. I think we can do that. Merry Christmas. Yep. Okay. I'm surprised I said Merry Christmas. I'm usually like, you know, the War on Christmas guy. Like I don't really care for, if you want to know personal views about me, I'm not a Christmas guy. I don't really care either way. I don't care if people say it, but I think a lot of people do like it, and people are nice, but she might have been a don't say Merry Christmas to me person, so how do I know? You know, who knows? Now I look like the moron, like, you should be able to say Merry Christmas because you're gonna freak out and be offended, and I'm just gonna say it because you're offended. Okay, so never mind all that. Oh yeah, so now I'm glad I remember the story. So this bank building had the name of the bank on the top. It was called Valians Bank, Vallians, Valians Bank. But on a quick look, I thought it said Villains Bank, like a villain's bank. And I thought, wow, how honest. A bank of villains out there to steal your money. Like, like every bank. Don't tell my bank I said that, right? Alright, so that's my video for today. Hope you enjoyed this 10 minutes of chit-chat about will you see the country? Here's the country you're going to see. 75 miles an hour. A nice, sparse, rolling bunch of hills in Oklahoma. Oh, look, cattle on the ranch up there. And that probably all looks backwards to you because I think the camera here reverses everything in the front. So, okay. Enjoy, everybody. Have a great day.